Trump is reinforcing harmful stereotypes and offering a dog whistle to his most hateful supporters. A man with a long history of racial discrimination who traffics in dark conspiracy theories drawn from the pages of supermarket tabloids and the far dark reaches of the internet should never run our government or command our military.
All right, that was Hillary yesterday. Welcome back, folks. Of course, if you were watching in the beginning, my spotlight, Hillary has her own racial problems and racial connections and all that kind of stuff. And before she said that yesterday, Donald Trump preempted with this.
People who speak out against radical Islam and who warn about refugees are not Islamophobes. They're not. They are decent American citizens who want to uphold our value as a tolerant society and who want to keep the terrorists the hell out of our country.
Yes. All right. Joining us now on the Malzberg panel, Kristin Tate is back. Libertarian author, political columnist, founder of the Libertarianchick.com, and author of Government Gone Wild. Roger Simon, co-founder of PJ Media, award-winning novelist and best-selling author. This is the newest book, folks. It's called I Know Best: How Moral Narcissism is Destroying Our Republic if it hasn't already. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me start with Kristin. Because she is the lady, and although it's politically incorrect, I guess I'll do it anyway. So, you know, Kristin, this whole attempt at changing the narrative away from her emails and pay for play and Uma Abedin and everything else that's going on, she has temporarily succeeded.
Oh yeah, talk about distraction. But Steve, you want to really talk about racial discrimination? Let's talk about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is practically a terrorist organization at this point. You have many of their members looting and burning down black-owned businesses and calling for the murder of white cops. And Hillary and the other Democrats are just not addressing this at all. They're giving this entire group a free pass. And in many ways, by giving this group a free pass, they're offending the black community by holding them to a lower standard. It's almost as if this is just what they expect from the black community at this point.
You know, Roger, it's so true. And Hillary yesterday bringing up this alt-right. And she gives examples of people or whatever, and the Republican Party has been hijacked by this alt-right. Not only is this not the party of JFK on the Democrat side, it's not even the party of Bill Clinton anymore, because Hillary has had to run away from and apologize for the crime bill, Defense of Marriage Act, Don't Ask, Don't Tell, welfare reform. So, I mean, who's she kidding?
I don't know. You know, I was just thinking while I was listening to Kristin and agreeing with her completely that Sly and the Family Stone should come up with a new song. Because, you know, their great one, Everybody is a Star. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're now doing Everybody is a Racist.
That's true.
Because everybody's a racist. I was in the civil rights movement, lost my use of my finger in the civil rights movement. My grammar school best friend, Andy Goodman, remember him, got shot. Klan, and I'm a racist.
Yeah.
So it's become a junk term.
No, it absolutely has.
Being called a racist is like being called purple or something. It doesn't mean anything.
Right, and Donald Trump was absolutely right. They go to their, Kristin, their playbook and call everybody a racist when they're feeling the heat. But again, if you want to talk about, and you brought up Black Lives Matter, and she talks about fringe and blah, 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 and alt, well, I mean, isn't it the radical left that the party has become that has the mother of a thug like Michael Brown speak at their convention and not have any police officers or widows or family members of lost police officers speak? I mean, what do you call that?
No, it's insane, but it's up to Donald Trump to shine a spotlight on this. He's got to do exactly what Hillary is doing to her. He's got to be showing pictures of dead cops. He has got to be exposing Black Lives Matter and this blatant violence that the Democrats are totally brushing off. That is the only way he will be able to combat Hillary's narrative right now. If he does not do this, I fear that what she is doing, this race-baiting campaign, may be effective, and it might ultimately take down Donald Trump if he doesn't fight back.
Roger, you know, yesterday we got alt-right, which I, to be honest with you, had never heard of before. And now another term I never heard of before, BleachBit. And BleachBit is the software that Hillary, remember she said when they was asked if her server was wiped clean, and she stood there and said, oh, you mean with a cloth? Well, apparently, when they erased those emails, they used this highly secretive technology to make sure, to the best of their ability, no one could ever retrieve those emails again. But it was only about yoga and Chelsea's wedding.
Well, the funny part about that, if you can remember back this far, it's hard. When she was first exposed for the emails, she played this act of, oh, I didn't know about how to use my cell phone, and I didn't know you could have two lines, and all that stuff that was so laughable. Either she was a moron, or anyway. Now we find out that they were using BleachBit, this high-tech operation, to get rid of all the emails. I mean, the lying is so spectacular. By the way, I'm going to advertise another op-ed writer, not me this time. Everybody should read Kimberly Strassel's piece in the Wall Street Journal this morning about this whole issue and the Clinton Foundation, because she nails it better than I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I mean,
Kristin,
it's all one organization. The State Department and the Clinton Foundation were one. They
absolutely, and Uma Abedin did most of the dirty work. And speaking of Uma, Kristin, you know, we talked about earlier in the week, Paul Sperry, New York Post, over the weekend, did an expose on how the masthead of this radical Islamic newspaper had Uma Abedin's name on it. She worked for them. She was almost in charge of it. Her mother wrote for it, still writes for it, wrote articles about basically how we deserve 9/11, how women should be subservient to men, and Sharia law is best. But also, there was an article in there right after the Monica Lewinsky scandal. It claimed that Bill Clinton bombed Saddam to distract from the Monica situation. And this is with Uma Abedin's name on the masthead.
Yep, but you know what, Steve? Nobody in the media will talk about that. We are the only channel here at Newsmax, I guarantee you, to talk about that today. And Huma will not discuss this. She won't answer to it, and no one will ask her, because, you know what, the media is all working for Hillary Clinton. So if Trump wants this to be an issue, he's got to be the one to aggressively bring it up.
Yeah, Roger, how
I think he's going to, by the way.
What's that?
I think he's going to. I know Steve Bannon, they're not going to let this slide by. But by the way, I'll give you all a preview of what I'm going to write for Monday. Yeah. An article called "It's Not the Heat, It's the Humidity."
Very good. I love that. I love that. So Roger, again, you know, I mean, you know, anything associated with Donald Trump. Now they're bringing up something he did in the 70s. They were sued in the 70s. I mean, 40 years ago, him and his father, blah, blah, blah. But Uma Abedin, who will be chief of staff in the White House, had her name on the masthead of a radical Islamic newspaper, and you don't hear anyone in the media talking about it.
Oh, they don't want to. They don't want to even think about it. You've got Uma's mother, of course, is a leading figure in the Muslim Brotherhood or Sisterhood. So, I mean, you know, they're so weird. I mean, the novelist part of me, the whole intricate web between the Clintons and Anthony Weiner, this crazed Jewish guy, and this Muslim Brotherhood thing. I mean, you couldn't make this up. It's black comedy beyond black comedy. But we're the victims of the whole thing.
We are. All right, I want to put up some pictures here. There's for some reason, I don't even know how this happened, but there's a statue of Donald Trump that was in various places around the country yesterday. Could we put that up as much as we could show of it? And it's basically Donald Trump. Yeah, okay, there it is. And Roger, I don't know if you could see it, but it's Donald Trump. Looks like he's pregnant. He's naked, okay? He's got his hands over his big, huge, pregnant belly. I mean, again, what would the outrage be, Kristin? Who did I start with? Roger, I don't know. Who spoke last? Whatever. Kristin, we'll start with you. We only have a minute left, 30 seconds each. If this were a naked Hillary statue that was going around the country.
Yeah, I wrote about this in my column for The Hill. I mean, can you imagine? Or how about President Obama? If someone put statues of him around, and think about like Hillary Clinton, how would they choose to make that statue with like sagging body parts? I mean, there would be outrage.
Yep.
And these so-called artists would be, you know, they would
called
never
out,
work
they'd be
again.
investigated. Absolutely. Roger, I mean, you know, Bruce Springsteen, when he was in Germany, held up a sign said "F Donald Trump." Go ahead. What about? Have you seen these statues?
No, but the outrage. Look, I think let 1,000 flowers, what was 100,000, whatever it was Mao said back in the old days. Let it all happen. Let it hang out. That's okay. We got to get to the truth. That's all. I mean, yeah, I don't care whether they have Hillary pregnant or Donald pregnant or me pregnant.
All right, get to the truth. Good way to end it. Guys, have a great weekend. Kristin and Roger, thank you very much. Steve. Up next, Wayne Allen Root will be here. Don't go away.